So in a previous video, I talked about my 5 biggest travel letdowns. So if you haven't seen that already, links are down below. But for this video, I wanted to talk about my 5 biggest travel surprises. Now, these aren't necessarily my favorite places I've ever been to, but they are places that I didn't really expect much from. And then when I got there, I was very, very pleasantly surprised and delighted. Last year, we went to Antalya, another part of Turkey that I didn't know much about. I knew a lot about Istanbul and Cappadocia because, you know, the hot air balloons that everybody sees everywhere. So we've been to Greece before and we saw all these amazing Greek ruins. Well, guys, nothing compares to Antalya Turkey ruins. Like, there are such good shape. It's just stunning. So we did a day trip to see some of these amazing ruins. There were intact aqueducts, which I'd never seen before intact. There was a Spendus theater. There was this huge amphitheater that was just in the most pristine condition. I mean, they still use it as an amphitheater and it's like 2,000 years old. Don't quote me on that date. I don't 100% remember, but it's really old. And then they have these whole cities where you can, like, it actually feels like you can see the cities. It's like, if you've ever been to Pompeii, it's better than Pompeii. You had a full scale scope of how large and amazing and grand the city was. And the craziest part is they're still excavating the sites every day to this day. So there's new stuff popping up all the time. I was just not expecting ruins of this condition in Antalya in Turkey, and it just blew my mind. Like, I was expecting that in Greece, not expecting it in Turkey. So in 2017, we were traveling through Europe and we had about a 4-day window to go somewhere in between 2 of our trips where we were like, let's go somewhere we haven't been before. And we essentially just looked up flights leaving from Gatwick in London to see where they would go. And one of the flights was to Asturias in Spain. We essentially booked this trip by looking at this picture of this beautiful bridge and we said, that looks like a pretty bridge. It's probably a pretty area. I mean, we've never been to the north of Spain, so let's do that. And we were very, very pleasantly surprised by the amount of cute, small Spanish seaside towns that were just nestled in the hills. They had all these amazing red roofs. They were so adorable. And then the mountains. Peaks of Europe. It's literally called the Peaks of Europe. Pico di Europa. I was not expecting, I've been to Switzerland, I've been to Austria, but the Peaks of Europe, I didn't really know how amazing this mountain range would be until we were there. And I wanted to spend way longer hiking all the various trails. It was just I was not expecting mountains in Spain, like proper, beautiful, mountainy mountains in Spain. And I was very pleasantly surprised. It's a really cool area that's not crazy touristy. Like, it's not very overly touristy, and we were there in the peak of summer. But it's just a really cool part of Spain that I was not expecting. So Valparaiso is a port city that used to be a major stopover point for ships going from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean that had to take the southern passage to the bottom of South America before the Panama Canal opened. And then when the Panama Canal opened, it became a ghost city because ships didn't need to go to the bottom of South America anymore. So when the Panama Canal opened up, it caused a major decline in the city, and there were all these abandoned buildings. So then the artists moved into this cheap, available buildings and started painting and creating murals to help bring the city back up to life, to give it color. And it kind of just went from there, and it grew, and it became this amazing, colorful destination. And it's just this creative, funky, hippie community up on the hills. It's just an amazing place to go visit, and was such a surprise to me because I knew nothing about it and I wasn't expecting anything, and it just And so I've been to Beijing a few times now, and on my latest time, I finally decided to do something different, and that was a visit to the Beijing 789 Art District. Now, I didn't know much going into this. It was an art district. I didn't realize how diverse and how many amazing art pieces would actually genuinely be there. So the district itself is made up of all of these old military warehouses that have been repurposed into artist studios, and these are really cool artist studios. You have your traditional paintings and drawings, and then you have your crazy sculptures, which is the outside of the studio. So there's these huge sculptures on the outside space and a lot of really unique art from different artists around the world, so not just in Beijing. And it just kind of surprised me because I didn't know what to expect, and the whole area was so much fun to explore. It was absolutely beautiful. It was just a really unique part of Beijing that I wasn't expecting at all, since all my previous times there I just did the traditional tourist sites of like the temples and the Great Wall and more temples and those sort of traditional things, and it was nice to see a modern take. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I have a huge love of New Zealand. It is one of my favorite countries I've ever been to. I've traveled literally all around it multiple times. I've been pretty much everywhere in that country. Now, the North Island of New Zealand specifically was one of the places that I was told by many fellow travelers, by guidebooks galore, by just a lot of people, that wasn't really worth it. The South Island is incredible, it's beautiful, there's all these sights and sounds, but the North Island's kind of like, meh, you could skip it. So I wasn't really expecting much when I first arrived into New Zealand and I was in Auckland. The North Island is so much more, and honestly, I put it as equally as amazing as the South Island of New Zealand for a couple particular reasons. First off, you have the Cape. The Cape of the North Island of New Zealand is absolutely spectacular. It is rugged, sandy beaches, tropical coastline, so rugged and beautiful and wild and coast and turquoise blue waters. Then you have the Tongariro Crossing, literally one of the best day hikes in the world. Just next level. You are hiking through volcanic landscapes that you've never seen before. It feels like you're hiking through Mars, like genuinely feels like you are hiking through Mars. It is so different, so unique, and such an amazing landscape and geological features that is just, there are so many other little hidden gems scattered throughout the island that I was so pleasantly surprised to go out and explore, and so delighted to do so. So it was definitely a huge surprise for me, and I'm glad I spent so much time exploring the North Island, and I'd recommend it to you guys too. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed learning about my 5 biggest travel surprises. So now I want to know what your biggest travel surprises were. What are some of the places that just blew your mind and you weren't expecting it to? So leave those down below. I cannot wait to read through your experiences. So give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you aren't already, and go give the 5 biggest travel letdowns a watch if you're curious. Okay, bye guys!